I've come to the end of myself. My hands in the air, Jesus, I've got nothing left. And I wanna keep singing, but I'm feeling the weight. I'm seeing the cycles of all the hate. Open up those heavenly gates. We cry, justice, freedom come. Open up those heavenly gates. We cry for mercy and for your love. You see the forgotten, you stand in their pain. You're shoulder to shoulder with all who are finding their way. In every season, through every song, you hear the cries of the broken. God, won't you come and open up those heavenly gates? Those heavenly gates. We cry, justice, freedom come. Open up those heavenly gates. Yeah, those heavenly gates. We cry for mercy and for your love. Yeah. Open up those heavenly gates. Those heavenly gates. We cry, justice, freedom come. Open up those heavenly gates. Yeah, those heavenly gates. We cry for mercy and for your love. Let your kingdom come. Let your will be done on earth as we see it in heaven. Let your kingdom come. Let your will be done on earth as we see it in heaven. Let your kingdom come. Let your will be done on earth as we see it in heaven. Let your kingdom come. Let your will be done on earth as we see it in heaven. Open up those heavenly gates. Those heavenly gates. We cry, justice, freedom come. Open up those heavenly gates. Yeah, those heavenly gates. We cry for mercy and for your love. Open up those heavenly gates. Those heavenly gates. We cry, justice, freedom come. Open up those heavenly gates. Yeah, those heavenly gates. We cry for mercy and for your love. Open up those heavenly gates. We cry, justice, freedom come. Open up those heavenly gates. Those heavenly gates. We cry for mercy and for your love.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, are we back? Are we live? Let's see. The beauty of live streams. Everything is okay. I can hear myself in the stream. So, and I can hear the replays. So, I am I am so sorry. I've been trying my best to get these things worked out. It is hard to nail everything down perfectly. If you're in the comments, if you're in the chat, drop a comment in the chats, whether you're on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitch. Let me know you're on the channel. We are live. I am getting ready to engage the chats so that we can get going. No, you go up here. Alright, so I'm gonna engage these here, live stream. I've gotta pop the chats out. Pop chat out. I gotta pop this chat out. Okay, I believe all of the chat is there. If you're joining us, let us know. Rick says, I am here. Rick, thank you so much for joining us live on the channel. All right, so we've got a great show for you today. I have been working, so last week, a week ago Friday, we went live for the first time all year. And I wanted to switch things up, so I went live. That kind of bombed because I had no audio on Twitch, and it was one of those whoops moments. Then I went live Saturday to fix that, then Sunday because I just wanted to, and we ended up going live 7 days in a row. Friday all the way to the following Thursday. Friday, I finally took a day off. I'm back because there's a few things I would like to discuss with Rick says, I know a good IT guy. Yeah. Well, it's hard doing these live shows, and I am doing everything, trying to think of all the ins and outs and be the talent. It's frustrating, and it's one of those, you sit here. I've been sitting in this chair since around 3 o'clock this afternoon, doing tinkering, messing around with things, and sure enough, I get inundated with comments and thoughts and doing, oh, I need to do this or I need to do that. And it's one of those things. Anyway, let me know if you guys are in the chat, and it is great to talk to you. Rick, thanks. I know you said you're amazing. Thank you. I appreciate that. You're amazing as well. It's always great to see you on the chat. Okay. So, from Friday to now, so the reason I took Friday off is I was so frustrated with all of the glitches and all the problems we were having with hitting our heads against the wall, with computers crashing, stuff shutting down halfway through the show. It just got frustrated seeing all of those. And one of the most frustrating parts about it is I know I can do this. For those of you joining right now, let me just introduce myself. I am John McLaughlin, founder and CEO of JAmemories. My job is to help people do this, set up live streams. And I do this on a regular basis. Don't think this is just me tinkering with. I'm actually the engineer for a live broadcast every day. And and I'm not the only person working it. So that's one reason why I can succeed there and I get flustered here and frustrated here, because I'm doing all of the ins and outs here by myself. Not that I'm complaining, because I don't want people to think I'm complaining. This is just the nature of the game. One thing that I use these live streams for is to try new things out. If something comes across my desk that can improve a live stream, like this social ninja that brings chat in from all different platforms, then I'm going to use it. I'm going to do everything I can to get those integrations so that I'm able to succeed in doing that. And one of the most rewarding sides of that is when, even if I mess up here in this live environment, yes, I'm live, yes, I'm transmitting to potentially thousands and, eventually hopefully millions of viewers, but one of the benefits of what I do is I get to tinker, I get to mess around, I get to share the experience of what it takes to engineer a live show and doing it all yourself. Now, I could be a lot smoother if I recorded all my live stuff and then replayed it back. I guess it wouldn't be live then at that point. It would be recorded content. But one of the drawbacks to that is when you get into a live environment, when you get to do live content, the adrenaline runs wild. Like I said, I sit here all day long. This is my studio, and I could take, so this is the big wide expanse. It's blurred. Let me go here too, and let me see if I can get the filter turned off. Like I said, the video itself, the native video, is not the greatest anyway, hence why I use the filter on it anyway. Not that it helps anything, it's just one of those things. So this is my big studio space. This is where I work out of. And one of the, why did that? No, because I'm still missing. So, I mess around with this big wide open space. I'm actually in between two computers, and I set this scene up so you can get a little bit, because of my camera, you kind of can't see where everything is, because over here there's a whole bank of computers as well that I don't have a shot of. So with that, obviously it's, I've got computers over there, I've got computers over here, and I've got this big video screen here that I've got to deal with. And one of the frustrating parts is when you have that many pieces of equipment running, it's easy to overlook the nuances of what it takes to get it all done. This video screen was one of the most frustrating things last week to get going, because it's always the last thing that I would think about. Perfect example, coming on the live show today. Obviously, I had everything working, but then I had to step out to go check on my family before I went live and see if they needed anything, if anyone needed anything. And because I took too long up in my house, the receiver and transmitter shut off of my wireless mic, because it's a feature that if they're not talking to each other, it's an automatic shut off within a certain amount of time. So my mic shut off. I did not check it right before we went live, so I hit the button over here to unmute my mic, and sure enough, that's why I wasn't able to talk, because of that issue. So, the video screen. So what I ended up doing is I ended up taking a computer that was not being used. It actually hadn't been used in probably 3 years, but yeah, it still had Windows 10 on it. And so basically I plugged it in, seeing if it would work, and I plugged in a USB drive, and I'm running this video on a loop through Windows Media Player. That's sometimes the simplest things, because before, when it would freeze, I would be running it behind, on the PlayStation, which is behind it, through a media player, which is on the other computer over on this side. But that computer was also running BitFocus Companion, and it was running the music you hear, and it was trying to do the live stream multi-view. All of those things cascaded down to the point where it is now clogged, and it would shut down. The processor couldn't handle that many processes. And because of that, I ended up just saying, you know what? The BitFocus Companion computer, that can handle the music, but at the same time, and that brings me up to where the music's coming from. The music is coming from own.pro through their Epidemic Sound subscription. Now, the nice thing about that is I can stream the music, and they have a wide range of music selections. Now, that does not give me or any of the editors that work with me permission to use the music to actually create videos, because I'm not downloading any of the music. It's all being streamed live right now. If I go over to my computer, I actually can pause that music. So if I come over to this computer and I click on this little button right here, can you see this? Yeah, you can. If I click on this, it pauses the music. And that's one of the benefits of own.pro, is you can pay for the subscription that is not only the overlays and the integration and the pages, you also get the license to do your thing. What other? So this over here, we'll get to that in just a minute. That is the H2R graphics, and we'll talk about that as well. So let me just see what that message. I am expecting a phone call tonight. If it comes in, so if that happens, I may or may, depending on where we are, I may wrap it up. But one of those things. Don't forget, if you're in the chat, leave a comment in the chat. Let me know that you're here. We will engage as much as we can. Let me minimize this back down so that I can see all the chat on the channels. If you're watching on Facebook, thank you for joining us. We are thrilled to have now integration with Facebook. Facebook was not one of the original live stream platforms, but we are now live. I am streaming to the Facebook page. I also have a I do want to talk about this. I do want to talk about this page right here. So this page that you're looking at right over here, this is my dashboard. It's actually called Dash Master 2K, and it's done by the same guy that builds the graphics software that I use, which is H2R Graphics, which is the graphics that are doing my name and Tech Talk, as well as the chat overlay. So, you know, you can always bring in chat there through the chat overlay. So all of these pieces are being done by the same guy that built this live stream. And I'm using it to actually view my live streams as I'm watching. And it's nice to have these tools, but this was another thing that was bogging down all the computers. It was killing my process, killing the vibe, because if things are not working right and you can't get in the groove of what is going on. So with that being said, you know, I wanted something to make sure that we had the tools. So I've added 2 new pieces of equipment into my production. I have my tablet here, which you can see the top of right here. This is my iPad. I'm actually running the controls for the chat on this tablet. So occasionally you'll see me tap, and that's bringing the chat in and out of the live stream. The graphics, all the controls for the show are being done through this. The Stream Deck, I have one right back here, which is doing the main scenes, and then up here is doing my graphics. I also have, obviously, I also have other buttons on there as well. The nice thing about the Stream Decks, and I've talked about this past week several times, I use the Elgato Stream Deck with the BitFocus companion software. For what I do and how I operate my streams, that is more intuitive than relying on Elgato's Stream Deck software. Now, there are ways to actually integrate both of them at the same time. It does take a little bit more working, a little bit more time and effort, because you literally have to go into BitFocus Companion, build the scenes in there that you want BitFocus to control. So like your Atems, your switchers, your audio boards, your lighting consoles, and your networked devices, all built onto Elgato BitFocus Companion's app. Once you're done with that, then you come into the Elgato software, and then you program the button again, whether it's in the same spot or a different spot. So, and I did play around with that. I did toy with, you know, playing around with the different settings and messing around. And you sit there and go, why would you want to program your Elgato Stream Decks twice? And it comes down, boils simply down to what you're wanting to accomplish. Because Elgato Stream Deck does have tools and integrations that work wonders that are not built into BitFocus Companion. Window programs, simple cut and paste actions, and brushes in Photoshop, and move tools and scroll tools that you can get in Adobe Premiere. Those functions are great in Elgato's software. You're not going to find those integrations in the BitFocus Companion environment. Now, you can take two ways of doing it. You can go the long way and program once for the BitFocus Companion, and then again for the Elgato software. Or you can take another avenue, which is you use each application for individual projects. So when you're doing your computer operations and you're needing to get nitty and gritty into the environment of your computer, then the Elgato Stream Deck software is great. When you're trying to do something that requires networked equipment and software, and here's the thing, it's not just you're not just controlling stuff in your own environment. If you have the right IP addresses and they have the right ports open, you literally can control VLC players from around the world. You can control Atem minis from around the world. And those are the things that makes the BitFocus Companion so much easier. And so you open up your BitFocus Companion software for those moments. Because if you run it in BitFocus Companion independent mode, it actually is required to shut down Elgato software. You can't have both of them up running. If you run it where Elgato is the parent, but you still can bring BitFocus Companion buttons into it, then you have both of them. Now, unfortunately, and I don't know if there's a way to do this a little bit easier, you have to go into the settings in order to change the functionality of BitFocus Companion. Elgato doesn't care. Elgato wants to be the parent, it wants to be in control, and that is always going to be the case. But BitFocus Companion can run independent or behind the Elgato software. You just have to tell it. So what would be nice is on the front page of the app, you always have an option to engage Elgato software or turn it off. Right now it's buried in the settings, and it's sometimes a little hard the way they write things for you to find the right button to engage it. And with it being open source, that button sometimes moves and you have to hunt it down. So trying to get it so that you can engage that at any time may or may not be functional. Now, the only caveat to that is if you are going to go the route of working with both of them, when you build a profile in Elgato's environment, that profile does not change just because you don't have BitFocus Companion turned on. You will actually see just a broken link on that tablet. So it kind of makes sense that if you're going to work with both of them, you might as well just leave it on, and if you don't need it, build a page just for the applications if you want to build a page that uses both. A perfect example of using both at the same time is a live program, because Elgato Stream Deck software actually has great integrations with Twitch, YouTube. I'm not sure about Facebook, but they have ways that you can set buttons up that will trigger certain alerts, certain things to make your streams that much more engaging. And there's a guy on YouTube that I watch all the time. His name is Nutty, and he is phenomenal when it comes to live streaming and using OBS. He's actually got, last I checked, he has 2 desks running simultaneous OBS, and he's got one feeding into another. Similar to what we're doing, except we have the Atem Mini over coming into the OBS. In fact, this camera that you're seeing me on right now is actually feeding into the Atem, and then the Atem through USB is engaged on OBS. Now, I'm not gonna, at some point down the road, I am going to go through how I have my OBS set up, some of the Premiere plugins that I use. I just watched a video by Nutty. Was it Nutty? I think Nutty put a video out there today that literally gave me 4 new plugins I need to check out. Now, you know, with OBS, Open Broadcast Software Studio, with it being open source, a lot of the community builds apps and plugins that work with OBS. Now, it is sometimes a little hard to get them to work because, you know, obviously, you know, if you're trying to work around cross-platform, again, not every system's built the same. If you're on Mac, 90% of the chances, if you're on the latest version of software, it's going to be compatible. On a PC, that's not necessarily the case. You know, you can still be on the same operating system. You can be on Windows 10 or 11, but with all the changes that happen all the time, if I've updated my system every day and you didn't for the last 6 years, there may be stuff that just doesn't work, or it's broken, or it's glitchy, or so. With that being said, you might be saying I'm making the case for a Mac system is better. And with the cost of Mac Minis and some Macs coming down a little bit, it may be time to do that. I've slowly integrated into the world of Mac. I have an iPhone, I have an iPad, and I'm enjoying it. And one of the reasons I went with an iPad as my working tablet is simply because the applications that I need, I can literally run my audio board at the office, the Behringer X32, from my iPad. I can control every switcher, every Atem switcher from my iPad. I can't do that from an Android phone or an Android tablet. So there are reasons to check out equipment that works with the systems that you're working with. You know, I'm running 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let me see. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 computers to do 7 computers 6 computers and 1 iPad to make this live stream happen. And overall, I think it's going well. I haven't really had too much of an issue outside of, that first audio glitch that, I was actually watching a live stream. This guy, Photo Joseph, he does a lot of photography, and he popped on. Now, mind you, he's got a full functioning studio as well, and he does this all the time as well. And he came in, and now he streams in 4K. So he literally was live streaming, and he had no audio. And we're typing on the chat, no audio, hey, can't hear you, and all this stuff. About a minute later, he goes, oh, you guys can't hear me. Because he's out streaming in 4K, that's how much latency was between the chat and his live feed. So we're all thinking he's not listening to us or not watching the chat, and in fact, it was all about because he was streaming in 4K, he just couldn't get to the chat. The chat didn't get to him until that long. So, and as frustrating as video glitches are, as frustrating as things like that are, it's encouraging to know that even those who are professional, who have been doing this for years, still come across issues where, and like I said, I've been sitting here since 3. I turned the mics on about 6, between 6 and 6:30. So they were on. My biggest concern was that the batteries had died. But I had just taken them off charge right before I turned them on. So I knew that wasn't a likelihood. But it is one of the most frustrating things when you plan something and you don't. So, again, if you're just joining us, my name is John McLaughlin. I am the CEO and founder of JAmemories. We work on setting up live streams. We figure out software, hardware. We do installations, custom designs, and all of that. If you want more information, you can always go to our webpage and check out JAmemories.com. We have all the information about what we are, who we are, services. The support tab allows you to sign up for support. And then, of course, we have all of our brands. If you click on brands, if I click on the right button, if I click on brands, that will give you the list of all the brands that we represent and we sell. If anything on here piques your interest, let me know. And I will warn you, I've been talking with both of my distributors. Costs are creeping up. The tariff issue, things are kind of working itself out, but we are seeing some increases on tariffs. So make sure you reach out and get a custom quote on any of these brands, and I'll be happy to run those. Also, don't forget that you always have the option of reaching me at my email, which is john@jamemories.com. I will be happy to talk shop with you. Of course, if you have a project that's coming up and you need some products for sale, great, let me know. I will be happy to help you out. We do everything in-house. So, it's all close-knit projects. We work closely with our clients to make them get what they need and want. And I've been doing broadcast, building studios and figuring all of this out now for over 20 years. And it's exciting to see where, actually I was just talking to my accountant, not my accountant, but the ministry's accountant. I'm almost at 25 years. So time flies when you're having fun. So at least that's what I'm saying. But I wanted to say something real quick for those that may catch this in the replay. I don't want to miss a very special day tomorrow. I will not be live. Just so everybody's aware, I will not be live tomorrow. But I can't I can't forget to acknowledge all the great women and mothers out there. And I just want to say a quick Happy Mother's Day to every woman and mother who has played a major role in my life. My mother, she has put up with my antics. She has been there as a guiding light. She has lifted me up when things looked down. And then, of course, there's my mother-in-law, who's been a light in my life. Of course, there's my wife, who's been a great woman by my side all these years. And it's exciting to see where we're going with that. We just celebrated 20 years last year. And I'm looking forward to another 100. And so let me just say Happy Mother's Day to all of the women who have blessed me throughout my entire life. And there have been many women in my life who have been kind to me, uplifting to me, encouraging to me, and this goes out to all of you. So thank you, God bless you, and keep encouraging people. Even if you find that you yourself don't have any kids. A woman doesn't necessarily have to be a mother to have children. She may just be a light and an inspiration to those around her. So God bless you. Happy Mother's Day to all the women out there. So I just wanted to get that out the door and out and moving on. So how's everybody doing? Did we have any major issues today on the live stream? Is anyone still watching the live stream? Let me know in the chat if you're still there. I don't see. Let me see. It looks like we've had a couple people pop in on Facebook, Twitch. Yeah, we got 3 people watching. Facebook, it looks like that's not doing too well. I wonder if I would go live on my main page and share it on my JAmemories page if I get more people to watch. I don't know. I may have to try that out. Granted, I could try this. I could simultaneously stream to my YouTube page, my Twitch page, my Facebook group page, and my personal page. Think OBS can handle 4 live streams? I honestly don't know. That's just something I'm gonna have to mess around with and give it a shot. So, all right. Well, I think this was a success. My live streams are still pumping out, and I'm having success here. Yeah, it's now 8:41 here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. If you need any broadcast assistance, and here's the thing with the brands that I have, yes, I focus primarily on broadcast, but I sat through a webinar the other day. I missed the live feed, but I went back and watched the replay, all on conference rooms. And the technology that is coming out of some of these companies to integrate Microsoft Teams, Zooms, and just make things so much easier. Of course, AI is becoming like the thing to get. Everybody's getting it. But all of the integrations coming, from, for conference rooms and whiteboards, classrooms, it's phenomenal. And we have the opportunity to provide support for those products. So check them out. Check out the one that I just sat through was D10. I think it was D10. Yeah. And they have worked diligently over the years to integrate not only the regular boardroom type of conference room, but they have figured out a way to integrate breakout rooms and little classrooms and small rooms, and figure out a way to get all of them talking to each other. So, whatever you're working on, whatever you're looking to do, that's what I'd say. Reach out, and if that's something that you're needing, let me know, because we may be able to help each other out. So, God bless you all. I'm going to wrap this up, put all of this stuff back, and thank you for hanging out with us. Don't forget, if you need last minutes, tomorrow is Mother's Day. Make sure you have something special for that special woman in your life, that special mother, and make sure that you thank those that have blessed you, because I know it definitely is a blessing to have someone stand beside you, regardless. I told my wife this morning, and she said this to me before, this is where I got it from, but I said sometimes she has 3 children, not 2. And she looked at me and goes, hey, I said, you sometimes have to deal with my antics. So it's all good. We're all happy. So God bless you all. We will see you guys next time, if I can find the right scene. So I will leave you with this. God bless you all. Have a blessed Mother's Day, and we'll see you guys probably Monday. We'll have to see. We're getting close to graduation time, so I've got to focus on that. So, but I will be live again soon. So make sure you subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and we'll see you guys on the next one. God bless you all.